December 28, 2014, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. It was the Dallas Cowboys at the Washington Redskins in this NFC East Division rivalry matchup on the final week of the season. The Cowboys would get the ball first. They'd start off with it on their own 28 after the opening kickoff. They were faced with a 2nd and 6 from the 32. Romo hit Witten, and it was a first down after the 7-yard reception at the 39. Romo then went to Williams. He picked up 14 yards and a first down at the Washington 47. Then on 2nd and 4 from the 41, Tony Romo went back to Jason Witten. It was a first down after the 18-yard reception that brought the ball to the Washington 23. They weren't able to pick up another first down, and out would come Dan Bailey to attempt a 36-yard field goal on 4th and 4 from the 17. It was up, it was good, and the Cowboys put the first points on the scoreboard with the score Dallas 3, Washington 0. So now the Redskins would take over after the kickoff on their own 20-yard line. And on 2nd and 8 from the 22, Robert Griffin, the third, hit Young for a 9-yard reception. They made a first down on the 31. And on a first down from the 31, RG3 dropped back to pass. He hit DeSean Jackson. And DeSean Jackson took it all the way, crisscrossing the field, 69 yards for the touchdown, as the Redskins took the lead with the score now Washington 7, Dallas 3. So now the Cowboys would take over on their own 20 after the kickoff with a little less than 9 minutes still left in the first quarter. They were faced with a 2nd and 8 from the 22. Romo hit Witten for a 12-yard reception, a first down at the 34. Then on 2nd and 9 from the 35, Romo hit Dez Bryant, and Dez Bryant takes it all the way down the sideline for a 65-yard touchdown to give the Cowboys back the lead with the score now Dallas 10, Washington 7. So now the Redskins would take over on their own 32 after the kickoff with about 6.5 minutes left in the first. They would go 3 and out on the possession and end up punting from their own 39. So now the Cowboys would take over after the punt on their own 26 with 5 minutes still on the clock in the first. They picked up some first downs, and then on 3rd and 1 from the 45, DeMarco Murray ran 32 yards for the first down all the way to the Washington 23. And on the next play, Tony Romo drops back and he hits Dez Bryant for a 23-yard touchdown, but it was ruled incomplete. But then the Cowboys challenged the ruling on the field, and his feet were in bounds in the end zone. Touchdown Dallas, and it was now a 10-point lead for the Cowboys with the score Dallas 17, Washington 7. So now the Redskins would take over on their own 26 with still 2 minutes left in the first. But they would go 3 and out and end up punting from the 31 for the second consecutive possession, going 3 and out. And so now the Cowboys would take over on our own 30 after the punt. DeMarco Murray picked up 4 yards, and that would bring the first quarter to a close. So after 1 quarter of play, the score was Dallas 17, Washington 7. So now to open up the second quarter, the Cowboys would have the ball on their own 34 with 2nd and 6. Randle picked up a yard. Then on 3rd and 5 from the 35, Romo hit Beasley. Cole Beasley picked up 7 yards on the first down at the 42. Then a penalty against the Redskins for pass interference on the next play would make it a first down for the Cowboys on the Washington 32. Then on 2nd and 2 from the 24, Romo hit Beasley, picked up 8 and a first down in the red zone at the 14. They wouldn't pick up another first down, though, and out would come Dan Bailey this time to attempt a 32-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and it was now Dallas 20, Washington 7. So now, on the kickoff, the Cowboys end up going for an onside kick. They faked them out. It looked like they were going to do a regular kick, but at the last second, Dan Bailey just kind of kicked it to the side, and Church jumped on it and recovered it for Dallas. So now it would be Cowboys ball on the Washington 49 after the onside kick recovery. They're then faced with a 3rd and 6 from the 45. And an illegal use of the hands penalty against Washington would make it a first down on the 44 Dallas. Then on 2nd and 9 from the 39, Romo hit Beasley, picked up 11 yards, plus a face mask penalty against the Redskins would now make it a first down in the red zone for the Cowboys on the 14. They were then faced with 2nd and 5 from the 9. They gave it to DeMarco Murray, and he took it for the touchdown, 9 yards into the end zone. And it was now Dallas 27, Washington 7, as the Cowboys extended their lead to 20 with still 8 minutes left before halftime. So now the Redskins would take over on their own 20 after the kickoff, and they would end up bringing the ball to midfield and all the way down into the red zone, and they would end up having 3rd and 6 from the 7, but an incomplete pass would bring out Kai Forbath to attempt a 25-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and the score was now Dallas 27, Washington 10. So now the Cowboys would take over with about a minute and a half left before halftime. They had it on their own 20, and on first down, Dunbar ran it all the way 80 yards for the touchdown. But wait a minute, a holding penalty against the Cowboys brought it all the way back. And so there no touchdown. It was now 1st and 16 on the 14 for the Cowboys. They did pick up a first down, but they would end up actually on the final play. It was 3rd and 3 from the 46. Romo fumbled. He grabbed it back up, and he ended up being sacked by Robinson, and that's how the first half came to a close. So after 2 quarters of play, the score was Dallas 27, Washington 10. So now to begin the second half, Washington would have the ball on their own 27 after the kickoff, and on the first play from scrimmage for the third quarter, Robert Griffin III hit Alfred Morris. He picked up 17 yards in the first down at the 44. Then on 2nd and 6 from the 48, RG3 went to the tight end Jordan Reed. He picked up 9 yards in the first down in Dallas territory at the 43. They wouldn't pick up another first down, and they would be faced with a 4th and 4 from the 37 where they elected to go for it, and they fell a yard shy on a pass from Griffin to Reed, and so they turned the ball over on downs. So now the Cowboys would take over on their own 34 with a little less than 11 minutes still left in the third quarter, and they went 3 and out on their first possession of the second half, and they would punt from their own 37. So now Washington would take over on their own 16 with about 9.5 minutes left in the third, and they went 3 and out and ended up punting from their own 12-yard line. So now the Cowboys would take over on the Washington 46 after the punt with about 8 minutes left in the third, and they would go 3 and out for the second consecutive possession here in the third quarter as they would punt from the Washington 37. So now the Redskins would take over on their own 10-yard line with a little less than 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and they ended up with a 2nd and 10 from their own 10, and RG3 hit Pierre Garçon. He picked up 47 yards in the first down in Dallas territory at the 43. RG3 then ran for 6 yards, and then Morris ran for 4 yards, and it was now first down on the Dallas 33, and RG3 hit DeSean Jackson for a 17-yard reception, made a first down in the red zone at the 16. Then on first down, they ended up picking up another 7 yards of the pass to Roberts from RG3, and Morris ran for 2 yards, and an incomplete pass on 3rd and 1 from the 7 would make it 4th and 1 from the 7. They elected to go for it instead of kicking the chip shot as they were down by 17. And so on 4th down, RG3 drops back, and he was intercepted by Bruce Carter. So Bruce Carter with the interception, and he ran it back 35 yards all the way to the Dallas 40, and that's where the offense would take over with about 2.5 left in the third. And the Cowboys would now go 3 and out for the third consecutive possession here in the third quarter as they ended up punting from the 40. And so now the Redskins with the ball back on their own 11-yard line with a minute and a half left in the third. They did pick up a first down with a pass from Griffin to Paul for 14 yards, but then 4 plays later, they would punt the ball from their own 32 on the final play of the third quarter. So after 3 quarters of play, the score was Dallas 27, Washington 10. So now to open up the fourth quarter, the Cowboys had their ball on their own 6-yard line after the punt. Then on 3rd and 1 from the 15, Romo hit Randle. He picked up 3 in the first down at the 18. And on first down, Romo dropped back to pass. He was intercepted by Jeffcoat. And so now the Redskins would take over in the red zone on their Dallas 16-yard line with about 13 minutes left to play, down by 3 scores. And on 3rd and 10 from the 16, out of the shotgun, RG3 dropped back to pass. He was intercepted by Bruce Carter. For the second time in this game, Carter gets the pick. And so now the Cowboys would take over after the interception on their own 11-yard line. And now Dallas would go 3 and out for the 4th time in the second half. It's the last they had that interception on the last possession that broke up the 4 3 and outs as they'd gone 3 and out 3 times, the interception, and now on their 4th possession of the second half, another 3 and out, and they punted from the 14. So now the Redskins would take over on their own 42 with a little less than 11 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. It was 2nd and 1 on the Dallas 49. RG3 hit Helu for a 3-yard pass on the first down at the 46. Then on 3rd and 13 from the 49, RG3 went back to Helu. He picked up 19 yards on the first down at the 30. Helu then ran for 15 yards on the first down at the 15. And then on 2nd and 3 from the 8, RG3 hit Jordan Reed, and he picked up 4 yards. But there was a face mask penalty, and so now it was 1st and goal on the 2. And then on 2nd and goal from the 2, RG3 took it in himself for the touchdown. It was now a 10-point game with the score Dallas 27, Washington 17. So now the Cowboys get the ball on their own 34 with about 6.5 minutes left to play. And on 1st down, DeMarco Murray ran 7 yards. There was a penalty of illegal use of the hands against the defense. So now it's 1st down on the 46 for the Cowboys. But then a penalty, a personal foul against Dallas to bring them all the way back to the 31. Then on 3rd and 16 from the 40, Tony Romo hit Williams for a 51-yard reception. It was now 1st down in Washington territories. It was 1st and goal from the 9, but they weren't able to get into the end zone, and Dan Bailey would end up coming out to kick a 23-yard field goal. It was up, it was good, and the score was now Dallas 30, Washington 17. So now Washington get the ball on their own 18-yard line after the kickoff, and on 2nd and 10 from the 18, RG3 out of the shotgun, drops back, and he was sacked by McLean, and he forced the fumble, recovered by Spencer, and Spencer ran it in 5 yards for the touchdown. And so now it was a 20-point lead for the Cowboys with the score Dallas 37, Washington 17. So now Washington with the ball on their own 20 with about 3 minutes left to play. They would end up bringing the ball to midfield and into Dallas territory. And on 2nd and 5 from the Dallas 42, RG3 dropped back. He hit Jordan Reed, but Reed got blown up by Smith. He forced the fumble, and it was recovered by Wilcox. And so now the Cowboys would take over on their own 35 with less than 2 minutes left to play. They gave it to Joseph Randle, and he ran it 65 yards all the way for the touchdown. And it was now Dallas 44, Washington 17. The Redskins would get the ball back on their own 33 after the kickoff, and they would end up bringing the game to a close with a few plays that really amount to not much. And so now it was the final score, Dallas 44, Washington 17. And with the victory, the Cowboys are now 12-4 on the season. They are perfect on the road, 8-0 away from Texas. And the Redskins are now 4-12 on the season, 3-5 at home. They're one game better than they were last year, where they were 3-13. But in this game, Tony Romo was 22 for 34 with 299 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Robert Griffin III was 27 for 41 with 336 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He also had 19 yards rushing off of 6 carries, including a touchdown. The leading rusher in this game was DeMarco Murray. He had 20 carries for 100 yards, including a touchdown. Randle had 4 carries for 69 yards, including a touchdown as well. He also had 3 yards off of 1 reception. And the leading receiver in this game was Dez Bryant, who had 99 yards off of 4 receptions, 2 of which were for touchdowns. Williams had 3 receptions for 68 yards, and Cole Beasley had 6 receptions for 57 yards. And Jason Witten had 4 receptions for 49 yards. And for the Redskins, Alfred Morris had 12 carries for 43 yards on the ground. And their leading receiver was DeSean Jackson with 2 receptions for 86 yards, including a touchdown. And the tight end Jordan Reed had 9 receptions for 70 yards, and Pierre Garçon had 2 receptions for 53 yards. And on defense, the game's leading tackler was Bruce Carter. He had 11 tackles. He also had those 2 interceptions for the Cowboys. The Cowboys had 3 sacks in the game. Mincy, McLean, and Selvi each had a sack. And the lone sack for the Redskins was by Keenan Robinson. He also had 10 tackles to be tied with Bashad Breeland of the Redskins. They both had 10 tackles to be the leading tacklers for Washington. And as I said, Bruce Carter had those 2 picks, and Jeffcoat had a pick for Washington. And so Dallas ends up running away with this one. They just blew out the Redskins. And the final score, Dallas 44, Washington 17.